All right, we are going to be starting looking at Unit 10. Today we'll be covering 10A. It's called the Measures of Center in Data Sets. So this is our introduction to statistics. So let's start with defining some words. So the first one is, what is statistics? It is the study, analysis, and interpretation of data. Okay. Part of that is we call the things that we study the variables. Okay. A variable is any characteristic, and number, or quantity that can be counted or measured. So you're studying a variety of different things when we talk about statistics. You could be studying things like the colors of different cars, or you could be studying the ages of people in a certain tax bracket. There's a variety of different things here. Okay, so we're looking at quantities, we're looking at characteristics here. The measures of center is what we're going to focus on in this first lesson. Okay, measures of center are measures that measures what is average in a quantitative data set. Okay, we'll talk more about what a quantitative data set is in a little bit, but the most common are the three that we're going to look at here: mean, median, mode. Mean is when we take the sum of all numbers in a data set and divide by the number of data values. Okay, quick example of that would be something like if I take, I don't know, age of 3 kids and they're 6, 7, and 8. We add their ages together and then we divide by 3. That is representing the average of those, or average or mean of those 3 data points. Median is the middle. I'm going to say that differently. It is the value in the middle of the data set. Okay, so what that means is, let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points. The exact middle is this one right here. So whatever the numbers are, if I'm going from lowest to highest, so this is the low number, this is the high number, this is the number that's in the middle, that is the median. Mode is the value or values that occur most often. Okay. Now I said value or values because you can actually have more than one mode depending on your data set. So if you have a tie, so let's say you have data set is 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 and 4 are both going to be considered a mode. Or I can also have no mode. If I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's no repeating values, there is no mode there. Okay, so you have to have at least repeating one time, and it's whatever has the most amount of repeats. Range. This is representing the difference between the greatest and least values in the data set. So those have their own names. The greatest value is the maximum. Okay, the least value is the minimum. So we want to find the range of our data set. We're going to subtract the two. So you always take maximum minus minimum will give you your range. So we're going to analyze how to find certain things real quick. As mentioned, quantitative data. This is just anything that is numbers that can be counted or measured. Okay, so things like this is maybe people's age. That's one. Height. Okay, that is a quantitative data set. So again, quantitative is anything that can be measuring numbers or numbers that can be counted or measured. Qualitative have to deal with characteristics or characteristics or things that have certain qualities. That's why it's qualitative. Okay, so maybe you're kind of analyzing the color of certain things, or you're analyzing personal views of things. Okay, that's qualitative. So for our purposes, we're going to mostly focus on quantitative data. So the table here shows the number of hits Marcus made for his baseball team. Find the mean, median, mode, and the range. So for the mean, we're going to just add all these numbers. So we got 3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 0 plus 3 plus 7. But then all those are going to be divided by how many I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to add these up. So I've got 3 plus 6 is going to give me 9, plus 5 is 14. It's going to be 24 over 6. So my mean is going to be 4. Okay, the median is going to first. So what I have to do is I have to find the median. I'm gonna rewrite the numbers. Whoops. From lowest to highest. So if I'm going to look at my data points, I'm going to start with 0 here. And just to make sure I keep track of everything, let's get rid of those. So 0, next number will be 3, and then 3 again. Okay, and then I've got 5, 6, 7. Okay, so in this case, the median is going to be finding the exact middle. So I can kind of look at it this way. I've got here and here, I'm going to cross off, here and here. Then I have 2 numbers in the middle. So in order to find the median, I'm actually going to take the average of these 2 numbers. This is what's going to happen if you have, in this case, I had 6 values. Whenever it's an even number of values, you're going to be taking the average of the 2 numbers in the middle. So I got 3 plus 5 divided by 2 is going to be 8 divided by 2 for 4. So mean and median are the same. Mode is going to be what shows up the most often. I only have one number repeating, and that's 3. So my mode here is 3. The last one is going to be range. Since I've already labeled everything from lowest to highest, we are going to take the maximum minus the minimum. So in this case, my range is 7. Part B, suppose Marcus didn't play the last team. How would this affect the mean, median, and mode? So for mean, we're going to do the same thing we did before, but in this case, we're actually going to stop at 3 here and not at the 7. But now my mean is also going to be divided by 5 instead of by 6. So I'm going to add these together, and 3 and 6 is 9, and 5 is 14. We get 17 divided by 5, which comes out as 3.4. Okay. The median. So I'm going to rearrange those numbers again, but now I'm just going to stop after 6. 0, 3, 3, 5, 6. Now I have 5 data points, so I actually do have an exact middle. So if I cross these off here and here, my median is that one right there. So my median equals 3. So if I have an odd number of data points, the median is the exact middle of the numbers. And mode did not change because I still have repeating 3s. So there's my answer there. One more example we'll go over, and that's with using the average here. Antique dealer purchased 5 antiques. The average price of these 5 antiques was $170. So we're going to first find the total price of all 5. So when we do that, we think about what is average. That is when we took the total price divided by 5, and that came out as $170. So if I can kind of work this backwards, that means the total price has to be 170 times 5. So that's what I'll do there. And I get 850. So the antique dealer spent $850 on all 5 antiques. Okay. So from there, I don't know each individual price of them, but it doesn't matter because the total is $850. He later bought another antique for $758. What is the mean cost of all the antiques now? So basically, we're going to take the 170 plus the 850, not 170, 758. That's the new antique there. So we do that, we get a new total of 1,608. Okay. So if I'm at average, we're going to take that 1,608 divided by the new number of antiques. So we actually have a total of 6 antiques now instead of 5. So we divide that out, and I get $268. So that's my new average here is 268 versus the original 170. And that's it for 10A. So again, quick summary, we're focusing mainly on these three mean median modes. Okay, so we're going to try to find those values based on a given data set.